Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. I'm Radhika. We have Radha Pramod Prabhuji today. Today is Valentine's Day. We all are celebrating Valentine's Day in different ways and the understanding we had up until this time. For me, Valentine's Day had a different understanding from our schooling that Valentine was a saint who was uh, very lovable in his nature to all his creature and people around him. So he was an epitome of love. So in his name, we started celebrating Lovers' Day, and in these days now it's become a couples Lovers' Day. So today we all want to understand what love means from a spiritual perspective. So let's get into the topic. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So what is love? Very simple, but I think a deep question.
Yeah, love is actually as an emotion where you feel for the other person, where you want to give something to the other person. You want to do something for him, to please him, to exchange some reciprocation from him. And especially, we want to sacrifice. And that is actually what is love. Love means sacrifice. That is one simple understanding of love. Wherever there is love, there should be sacrifice.
These days, we also hear this word called self love. You cannot love someone else if you don't love yourself. How true is that?
Basically, self love basically means first we need to understand ourselves properly. Who am I?
Okay.
So once if I understand myself properly, then only I'll be able to relate to other person properly. So without understanding ourselves, who am I, what is my need, what is my requirement properly, then I will be able to understand other person's need and accordingly I can reciprocate. If I am ignorant about my own understanding, my own needs, then it is very difficult to even help others also. So that is the first thing. So self love, when they call, they are trying to basically help people to understand, okay, first understand yourself properly, who you are and what is your needs. You should have proper ego for yourself. Ego means your identity should be very clear. What is my identity? Then I will be able to help other person also. So that is a simple understanding of self love means.
So, but what we see and witness in these days, self love is nothing but it's not what we need or understand of ourselves. It's how best we can pamper, how selfishly we can live, not self assertively, how we can be self centered. So, that's the language which is changing these present days. Self love is to first give importance to yourself. But what you are trying to help us understand is it's to identify ourselves right so that we can reciprocate to the person that we want to love in a right way. Is that
Yeah. Actually, Bhagavatam Prahalad, you may be knowing the famous devotee of Lord Narsingadev Prahalad. So he says that Nate vidu swarda gatim hi Vishnu. So we need to understand ourselves. Then the real selfishness is love for Lord, he is telling. So Nate vidu swarda. So if you know who you are, then you know I need what I need. Then you act accordingly. So my requirement is love only. So if I know who am I, if I know, then I know, oh, I need love. See, anything we are doing, like like why mother is so happy when she is with the child? No, she's because she's selflessly serving the child. Now she is waking up at 2 o'clock and serving. She don't need anything. She's sacrificing her sleep. She's sacrificing. Now, how many mothers need to be told, Array, before feeding your children, you should not eat? Nobody need to tell mother why she's doing. That is actually love. So once you know who you are, now she identified herself as mother because she knows I am a mother, and that's all. That identity makes her to do selflessly for the children. So once you know who you are, your identity is clear, then you will know that I need love, and my love comes when I sacrifice.
okay? Sacrificing word in the love is very painful, and a lot of people do it. In this, when two individuals involve, so one is sacrificing, one is not. So how does that thing happen? So when one is not, you really think that another person whom we are loving continuously do, we should continue to sacrifice when the other person doesn't even get it what we are doing to them?
See, when the mother is loving the child, when the child is 2 months old, 6 months old, mother don't expect anything from the child. She just keep on doing it. Now what the child does, child will only cry, he will pass urine and stool and mother will clean, and he wakes up at middle of the night at 2 o'clock and mother has to feed him, and then he will sleep in the daytime and night time he is awake and she has to support him. Now where is the question of the child reciprocating to the mother? But still she is doing, and that is the time the most happiest moment for any mother is when the child is very small, because she is so selfless, she experiences the greatest of joy. You see, the most of the mothers who have very small children, they don't become sick because they always are thinking about the child, they don't become sick.
Okay.
That is actually the point. So when you start giving selflessly, now father, he also gives selflessly. See, he earns money, he works very hard, but he wants his children to get something good, good education, good place, good things. Why he is doing? That is actually love. So he identifies, I am a father, he is doing it. When the problem comes is when he starts expecting, when the mother starts expecting, when the children grow big, then mother and father start expecting from the child that they should also do something, then the love reduces. So then the problem comes. So as long as you are selflessly giving, you are also going to get that pleasure. Now one of my known person, he went to meet the Shah of Iran.
Okay.
So before meeting him, he wanted to give some gift. So he forgot to actually take any gift. So in the airport, he saw some pamphlet or something, some paper plates on which the Ramakrishna Paramsa quotes were there. So he thought, okay, let me just take. And he went, and then the secretary, he looked at it. He said, this is what you brought? He said, yeah, something. So now he said, okay, let me see what he will do. The Shah took, and he just read Ramakrishna. He don't know who is Ramakrishna, but the word Krishna very much amazed him. His mood changed and he was in so much excitement. He asked, Hare Krishna, I heard Krishna had thousands of lovers and there is no rivalry among themselves. So this is actually the greatest miracles of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam explains many miracles. Bhagavatam explains flying cities, meditating yogis who are attaining perfection. It explains about Narsingadev coming out of the pillar and Varahadev coming out of the nose. So many miracles. The greatest miracle that is described in Bhagavatam is Krishna's lovers they don't have rivalry among themselves. So that is like greatest.
So all the 16,000
Gopis.
when they got married, and so how come they never had that slight jealousy or something? It's very basic for any woman to have that.
So that is what the question the Shah asked. He's very rich, so much wealth, so much power, everything at his disposal. But he has some 30 wives. A problem is most of his time goes in settling their disputes. So that's why his very important question is, how did Krishna manage this? So that is what is spiritual love.
How
So
did
when
he
you
manage?
when you have genuine love and devotion, so in this world the love what boy and girl have, it is not like Radha and Krishna love. So that is a very great misunderstanding. Here love is based on selfishness. I want to get something from that person. As long as I get from the person, I love. See, the love initially which they experience is in between 3 minutes to 3 months. But that time they are very selfless. So once that selflessness part over, then comes the selfishness. That means you start expecting from that person. So when you start expecting that person, then you lose that charm. So this is actually what happens. So initially Krishna gives that charm for everyone who enters into love. When they get married or enter into some relation, initially that charm is actually because of that selflessness. As long as that relation remains selflessness, that pleasure
Beautiful.
remains. So once it comes, once you see what happens is why they are in relation for 3 years, their girlfriend boyfriend of 3 years, and after marrying within 3 months they got divorce. So why these things happen is because that time they are very selfless. They are not expecting anything. So once officially they came to know that we are connected to each other, then the relation changed. Then you start expecting, okay, No,
I'm
everything.
authorized to get this XYZ from you.
Yeah, then see what happens now when you are in not officially connected, you want to present your best. When you know that okay, it's all fixed, then you show your real color. Then you need not have to show off that no, I am better, I am what I am. So once you come, that time the problem starts. Then your real sacrifice and genuine see, basically relationships survive only a person tolerates. This marriage is an institute of tolerance. You should ready to tolerate the other person, then only relationship survives. So initially there is a charm, so that is arrangement by the material nature to bring the boy and girl together so that this whole creation works. Once the charm goes, and then responsibility comes, because by the time children come, then they feel okay, now I am responsible for this, so let us continue. So they do as a responsibility. So that's how it can.
Okay. So we understood what kind of love exists in spiritual world, and their no comparison, just the seva bhav and all. But for us human beings who are materially living here, and I don't think we will get there. I mean, I cannot. I want to love normally. So can we at least experience love? I mean, our love is at least closer. Matlab, whatever love you told, can we reach around there? And how do we understand if you are loving somebody, if you are loving ourselves rightly? Do you have a right message for today's couples or young generation? I have my friends, they all have boyfriends. Okay, everybody is in relationship, fiancé, boyfriend, wife and husband, whether they're married, whether they're not married. What are few things that we should keep in our mind for this relationship to get closer to the love that you are telling?
Yeah, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can psychologist, but I can tell from spiritual point of view, if they want to, if they are serious about the relationship and they want to keep the relationship going on years and years. So first thing is there need to be investment. So relationship don't develop in a month or two. It takes years and years, for sometime 10 years, 15 years, 20 years to develop that proper relationship. And you have to keep on investing in the relationship. There are you have to.
इन्वेस्टिंग इज नॉट राइट वर्ड आई गेस, बिकॉज इसमें रिटर्न नहीं आता ना, लेकिन हमको चाहिए रिटर्न.
So that's what. So investment is that you have to basically when
Sacrifice or
no, it's an emotional investment.
okay.
It's an emotional investment you have to do. You have to keep on doing it. Try to understand the other person first of all before trying to making him feel that he should understand me. No, you should understand the person first. And out of all the thing, if you don't remember any of the things from the postcard, Jeff, if you can remember this one thing, that you accept the person as it is, then it is easy to maintain relationship. Don't try to change that person or expect anything. He is what he is and he cannot be changed. So if you can accept the person as he is, then that is the best. Then you can have very easy relationship with him, because you generally, what happens in relationship, you are always expecting and you want the person to change or he behave in a particular way, but he is like that only. So now you accept him, then you can have nice relationship all the time going on, because you know he is going to behave like this. So if you give him a cold coffee, he is going to shout. So you know what he is, so then you will not mind, you know.
But sometimes they do not show their reality for us to accept. What they show something and we accept, they change then.
Actually, because lack of trust, they don't show what they are. They are trying to put something in front of you because they lack trust. So once they trust you that this person is not judgmental, he don't judge me, he will accept me as he is, then you don't pose, you are open book in front of him. That's how you develop a closer relationship. That you don't, we are accepting each other, we don't want to pose okay, I am something special. Then it is easy, because why I want to show what I am not, because I feel that you will be judgmental. So that's the reason the problem comes. If you are not judgmental, I am not judgmental, then we are open, then it's easy, that relationship will go on for a long time.
Okay, so today is Valentine's Day. We want to celebrate Valentine's Day for sure, but how best we can celebrate with the spiritual knowledge? One more couple of lines for us to.
Yeah, so you keep on giving, don't expect anything. See what happens now, we all have this buddhi part, which is contaminated, it is having lust in it. So Krishna tells our lust is there in our senses, mind and intelligence. The lust is our enemy. So the lust is there in our intelligence, and initially when a person comes in relation with girl and boy, so there is selflessness. They are genuinely wishing well for each other and doing, but slowly the lust in the intelligence will come out, and the lust comes in the form of expectations. So there the start comes. So after few months or few days, then the first dialogue comes, I never thought you are so selfish. So the other person will also count down all the things. Till that time they were tolerating everything. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, you are so selfish. And other person will also count all the things which they did, and they will also prove that. So that dialogue comes when the other person says you are selfish. That is the time the lust attacked them in their intelligence. They start expecting from the other person. So this is going to happen. So you want to work, you can read Bhagavad Gita, try to develop your inner spiritual content by meditating. In that way your lust in the intelligence reduces, you start not expecting so much from the opposite person, then the relationship will be nice.
Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, are there any good chapters for, I mean, every chapter is good. Are there chapters where Krishna is explaining how to handle relationships?
Yeah, we have in Bhagavatam many chapters are there which gives very nice instructions, and more than that Mahabharata is also there where you have many such instructions in relationship. And of all the things, respect is the most important. Don't talk any frivolously. If you are very respectful to each other, then the relationship will go. That's actually what Mahabharata teaches. So always you be in a respectful, never take other person for granted. No matter how much you are close, you should be very respectful. That will help you. So that's actually the lesson from Mahabharata, that respect actually helps you to have a very strong relationship, and many lessons are there like that.
Okay. Any other thing that's very significant or very important for for all of us to know about, particularly about love? I don't think we will immediately get into the spiritual love. I mean, we means I can only talk about me, but I'm sure we have audience who will definitely get to spiritual world, and we hope the whole idea of our episodes is to help understand where Prabhuji has witnessed or experienced lot of scriptures knowledge. So he's giving it us in a very short and quicker way for us to refer it. So you have anything important to suggest us more on love, or
Yeah, if you if you want to have this one thing I told about respect and no expectations, and if we know that I will be very satisfied when I give up my desire to enjoy, then I will be able to then I'll be, the satisfaction of heart comes. It's not that how much I am getting things, how much I, then the, see what happens now, when you have very good relation, heart is very satisfied, then you don't need many things. Nowadays why we need many things in our life is because the relationship are not very strong. So when you have a genuine relation with your partner, then you don't need all this so many entertainment and all these equipments, and all things are not needed. Heart is satisfied. So that is the best way to be happy in this world, is the relationship. You can come out of all bad habits. Like if somebody is having bad habit, previously it was like that, if he is having smoking, drinking and other bad habits, then they say okay, get him married. And once he gets married, he will be so satisfied in the relationship. And I have seen also cases like that, once they got married, and the wife will help him to come out of it, and he comes out very easily because his heart is satisfied in the relationship. So that is actually one of the best way, and that is the only way. If you feel any bad habits or anything, this I have done in a podcast on addictions also, that relationship. So when your desire to enjoy will go away, and that will make your relationship very strong.
okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. I think we definitely had good understanding about the spiritual love existence, how it is, and how Dhruva, Prahlad, Hanuman, they have had their devotion towards the Lord, and today's love for us between our to each other within couples, brother, sister, mother, father. So Prabhuji has given us good understanding about love. I think one of the points that I really like is that no matter what, we have to have the respect for each individual, whether we agree to disagree, whether something is of our not liking. So respecting somebody for in any relationship is very important. And 3-4 features that you talked about the spiritual devotees, that they do not have pleasure in hearing anything negative about others. I think sometimes we do have pleasure in listening something not good about somebody in our competition, and we want to compare, and we have pleasure hearing some negative. So we have to get into the habit of not liking to listen all this. And couple of things that I think Prabhuji has
Being selfless,
being
no
selfless,
expectations,
no expectations,
giving up the desire to enjoy.
giving these are all very difficult. We will try it, Prabhuji. These are simpler said than done. So today we had a nice episode, Prabhuji, about love. We will try to have this kind of point that you said about love. We'll keep that in our mind when we maintain any relationship, especially not listening any negatives about our loved ones, anybody in our relationship, and keeping the respect. And I definitely want to do one podcast understanding only Radha Krishna's love one day. I don't know whichever day it is destined. I pray that to Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for watching us. We'll come back with few more episodes. See you again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.